called amplification. It's the same group stalking by the state. This is the entity using airplanes to engage in the exact same elements of monitoring, and this is also demonic pacing. You see a plane going in the opposite direction in the unnatural environment. I'm at the same position where I stood this morning, and this light source was over me while the entity was group stalking, and flew over my head as I was standing outside of my office at 8 o'clock. It's 1:45 in the afternoon. The entity is engaging in what is group stalking, as I have stated from the beginning of my documentation. Planes and helicopters, massive surveillance in the sky space in concert with the whole population that's doing nothing other than pacing all around like psychopaths, mentally unstable psychopaths who want to appear as though it's life, ordinary life in society. Okay, there's nothing ordinary, and it's actually not life. This is actually death. This is death that's at play. This is the light source that's over me, and that's called crossing path. And they're also engaged in, remember, federal stalking. Amplification is nothing other than the volume level with regard to what is the audible activity, massive surveillance. The government's not only group stalking you, the government's enabling everybody else to group stalk you as well. And they're all engaged in federal stalking. So like I said, every commercial actor, every third party group stalker that doesn't have the financial ability to use their business to engage in group stalking me, you will be prosecuted on two bases. First of all, engaging in terrorism, engaging in surveillance with the state. That's relevant positioning, activity, engaging in any of the elements of monitoring. And that's two charges: group stalking and facilitation for group stalking. And then you will also be prosecuted for federal stalking, which is online via communication devices, a violation of existing federal statute, Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. And just to be clear, the federal stalking statute is an independent basis for federal prison. So I just want to put that out there. I have pointed out what I am satisfied with, but blowing the whistle and alerting the federal government regarding what the states are doing, I am totally welcome to what the federal government will do at its own. I'm handing it over to them and letting them know about what's going on, and also providing an answer as to why, context as to why, but also what's the solution. Okay, so I didn't just present the problem, I did also present the solution. And there is more to be done though, okay? And so like I stated, the federal government may very well, upon being apprised of it, have a whole layout regarding what they would do upon knowledge of what the government is doing with the people. So, but I just want to be clear, existing language of the federal statute is, that would be grounds of federal prison for a whole lot of people. So I know that these things are not practical, okay? But I just want to point that out. The basis of federal prison for engaging in federal stalking, and every single person, including those under the age of majority, are engaged in surveillance online by communication devices. It is currently, while you're looking at this light source, 1:48. Remember, at 8 o'clock, the entity flew directly over my head while I was speaking to the terrorism that I'm subject to. All right, well, I came down from the office, and the entity, that was, let's count the hours together, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was 5 hours ago, and I stood at the same doorway, and you're looking at the same light source. Remember, I captured video standing next to that vehicle, and this fake sun was directly over me as I stood there facing this direction, and it's still over me here, and I'm in front of the same car, and I'm still going to do that screen recording so you can see the light source through the windshield of that vehicle at the same exact location after 3 p.m., which is a direct indication to what's not over 150 East Hope Boulevard. As I'm showing the light source, there's no mistaking its presence. It's not remaining over the Planet Fitness. The sun is not going to be stationary to be at a Planet Fitness at Washington and Central at this time, or at any place for the duration of the day. That is the direct evidence of those that are going to be removed in their positions where this system of terrorism is underway. And that's the answer to public corruption. This is P.O.C. All right, the absence of a coincidence when you're referencing the people of the state and they engage in the elements of monitoring. All right, and what's the answer to that? Everybody here is going to federal prison, so it has already solved. It's already been resolved. But nonetheless, it's the same conduct, coming and putting a place order, a work order in to monitor me, and doing so while you know that I'm about to use you as an example, exhibiting demon possession and engaging in criminal conduct with the government. That's the same pattern of conduct, and they don't have to speak your language, by the way, as you've seen. Okay, P.O.C.